episode 191 of Coffee and Co-Read, your source for all things literary with Catherine
and Kristen, where we believe there's nothing better than a hot coffee and an awesome book. Join us for our virtual book club where we take one book a month and dive into all the drama, adventure, and romance we can find. Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Kristen.
So, I'm apologizing in advance. I'm a little bit,
sore-throated?
Yeah, like...
man cold?
Well, I'm still going to work. I'm still doing my life. So, like, it's not man coldy because I'm not laid up in bed. But my voice does feel like it sounds a bit different. Mm-hmm. It feels rough and hoarse. And anyway, it was... Yeah. I knew it was coming. Back to school, there's always like you know, you always catch the back to school bug from being around all the children. So,
of course, it was just
I had it coming. So, but I apologize if I, you know, sound different or if I have to cough. I'm, you know, story of my life.
Yeah.
So today we are going to discuss something that most people don't think of when they think of books, and whether spoilers or whether requirements or what, reading the back of the book.
Yeah. So I guess it's mostly a thing that I don't do. If I know that I like an author or it's a book that we've realized is popular, I feel like there's too many spoilers on the back of the book. But so I read Crescent City without reading the back of the book, and boy, was I shocked.
Well, yes.
But that's
yes,
this book too. I read it, and then I got to the part where she was captured, and I was like, Kristen, this week goes crazy. And you're like, it says it on the back of the book, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It does.
Although, to be fair, I do have the hard copy. Is it on the dust jacket? It doesn't look like it's enough words.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's just not a lot. It's so tiny. Anyway, either way. Oh, wow. Did you look at how pretty this is? Can you see that?
Oh, that's very nice. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, hardcover book. Pretty. Yeah. So I guess I don't really read the backs of books if it's books of authors that I know I'm gonna love anyway. And sometimes even books that I just pick up, I 100% judge a book by its cover. I get so stupid, but the reason I stopped reading the backs of books too wasn't just spoilers. It was also I'd get too lazy to finish reading the back. I'd be like, oh, this is boring. So many words.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
Yeah, so for me, it's more if I go to the bookstore, so I would tend to agree with you. If I'm buying something from one of my tried and true authors, I don't feel the need to read the back of the book. I might just on my way home in the car, if I'm in the passenger seat, not if I'm in the driver's seat. But if I'm in the passenger seat, I will maybe peruse.
Yeah.
Just to be hey.
Yay.
I need something to do.
Yeah.
But in general, if I'm just going to the bookstore and I see a book with a pretty cover, I will absolutely read the back. Because sometimes pretty covers deceive you.
That's true.
And especially now with all the books that are coming out with really elaborate designs, really elaborate sprayed edges, and they're $40 each. I want to make sure it's a book that I'm potentially going to enjoy.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So I definitely do read the back, and as we know, I live for spoilers. I live for spoilers. What did I look up spoilers for the other day? I definitely... Oh! So there's this new... I'm not going to say new. There's this TV series. I don't know what streaming service is on. It might be Prime. But it's some sort of European... It's called Maxton Hall. Have you heard of it?
No.
So it's I need to figure out what country it's from. It's not in English is the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so it is a Prime. It's Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they are written in German. And I assume maybe the language on the show is also German. Anyway, so I keep getting it's season 2 is being released very soon.
Yeah.
So because season 2 is being released like imminently, they're doing a whole bunch of obviously Facebook is like releasing a ton of like short little, in the reels. Mm-hmm. When you watch reels, so I'm getting all these clips from Maxton Hall for some reason from season 1 of the show, and it looked actually really good. And so I looked up because it's based on a book series.
Oh, fun.
So I looked it up to see what the spoilers were for the entire book series.
Are you ever gonna watch it, or just?
I don't know. Maybe, but who knows?
Wanted to know.
I just kind of wanted to know. But like, I did the same thing with The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to watch that until I didn't want to watch it until I knew sort of who we wanted to, like, you know what I mean? Because there's two brothers there, so I was like, I'm not gonna root for the one she doesn't end up with. So I
do you remember
read ahead, or I Googled, I Wikipedia'd and got spoilers so that I knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah. Do you remember the Blood and Chocolate movie?
Yes.
I feel like we probably talked about it before because it had the worst movie adaptation that just changed everything about the book.
Yes. Oh my god. So that book, I feel like that book was probably our collectively, like both mine and yours separately, our like awakening into the like fantasy romance genre.
Yeah.
Because like I remember finding it when I was in grade 7 or 8 in my junior high school library. I distinctly
I think
remember.
I got mine in my library too.
I'm like, this is a weird book to have in the library, but like completely age appropriate. And oh my god, I remember reading it and being like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the movie came out, and I think were we friends when the movie came out, or did we just both? I don't remember that bit.
I don't remember, because we would have seen it together.
But I think we did watch it together.
I feel like I saw it in theaters in like the old Sobe Square. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it wasn't in
I don't
theaters.
remember it being in theaters. I just remember it being like direct to video release.
Okay, I think it only came out in Sobe. Why? Why did it come out in that theater? Who knows? Maybe somebody who knew the owners was like, I want to see this. Maybe. And they figured it out. But I saw it in theaters and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
They changed the ending. They changed like the entire dynamic of it was
I'm pretty sure they aged up the character, which sometimes I don't hate. But I hated it in this case.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Blood and Chocolate is a book about a teenage girl who's a werewolf, and she lives with a pack, and she has essentially just been told that she is going to mate with and be the mate of the next alpha, or is he the current alpha?
There's definitely a wild age gap, but
yeah.
I think
it's like
I think he might either new or next.
Yeah, but there's like a 5 to 7 year age gap for sure. Mm-hmm. And she goes to regular high school and meets this guy in regular high school, and like they fall in love, they have a relationship, and she's really nervous about telling him about her.
But he writes poetry and knows what it's like to be a wolf in his poetry or some shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cringy. And he's like a musician. He's, very like hippy dippy, I want to say. And then she ends up, I don't know if it's on purpose, but she ends up showing him that she's a werewolf. And he, in the book, completely rejects her.
Yeah.
And, like, refuses to talk to her and, like, essentially, like, just dumps her flat out.
Yeah.
And then the alpha that she's, like, betrothed to ends up, like, helping her realize that she needs to stay with her own kind. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And then they are together.
Fall in love. And we're not saying it's not problematic.
It's wildly problematic, but also in my, like, little 13-year-old heart, I was like, oh my god, I could meet, like, a werewolf in 3 years?
Yeah.
Like...
But also, it was like... It's like you are feeling different. You're like, maybe that's me and I'll find mine. Like, and then I don't know if I tacked this on after. I have read it more recently.
Yeah. Like,
I read it a few years ago,
yes.
And I kept sending you pictures of it. And I accidentally texted pictures of the pages to my family group chat instead of Kristen at one point. And I was like, oh my god, don't read that, sorry. It wasn't anything bad. It was just so cringy. Like, there's no sex in it or anything. No. It's just so cringy.
Yeah.
But I vaguely remember, too, that, like, was his name Gabriel?
Yeah.
I think Gabriel. Like, he wasn't even, like, going after her. He was like, just let her do this. Yes. She'll realize that she should come back to me. And, like, I was like, oh, my God.
It's like, oh, my God. Self-aware. You're so aware of your own, like...
sexiness.
Yeah, he's confident.
Yeah. It was like, oh, he's not even chasing after her. Wow. She'll come crawling back, you said. So stupid. I loved it.
Yeah, I kind of want to read it again now. I know it's super cringe, but...
Yeah, I wish I still... I don't think I have the same phone, but if you do read it again, you'll have to start sending me the... pictures of it.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, that's our look back on Blood and Chocolate. Oh, but main thing is, in the movie, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get into it too much, although we did just spoil the book, and that's the only good part. Yeah, so in the movie,
she just goes running with away her with the artsy guy.
Shitty guy.
Yeah.
Abandoning her pack.
Yeah. So, some spoiler.
Yeah. I guess we just spoiled everything. But what the fuck? Anyway.
I mean, the book is... Hang on. It's the book is... Oh, do you know what I did really like? Oh my god! Do you know who, in the movie, do you remember who...
I just looked it up, but...
So, Hugh Dancy is...
Oh my god!
Hugh Dancy was the artsy-fartsy, and, like,
Aiden.
It was, the artsy-fartsy guy, and on top of that, it was very, like, Eastern European. Like, I feel like it was trying to, like, swindle off of, like, the underworld vibes.
Yeah.
When that movie came out.
Which would have been hot if they had kept the right ending.
Yes.
I'm gonna get this movie
2007.
now. It's the movie,
It's the movie, yeah. Blood and Chocolate, 1997.
Okay, yeah, I kind of thought that.
By Annette Curtis Klaus.
She
Klaus.
also...
So.
She wrote one about an alien as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was... I feel like it was very similar.
Oh.
But we're gonna watch Blood and Chocolate.
We are, yep. If you want us to do a watch party about it,
oh my
just
god,
let us know and we will.
Oh, maybe. What is this movie?
Oh. Okay.
2 movies come up. The OG Blood and Chocolate, and then another one came up, and I was like, what is this? But it's about a food delivery person. I was wondering if it was going to be another make of it in, like, a different language, and I was like, yes. Anyway, it's not. So, just a heads up, This is not a spoiler-free zone, and things might get saucy.
Might they?
I don't think so. Oh my god, what happened last week? Okay, so, last week,
Raeve?
Yep, Veya. Am I reading a book with a Veya?
I don't know.
Have we read a book with a Veya?
I think so.
Did I mix up Raeve and Veya?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Raeve. So she ends up in Dom because she ended up in a fight club and then almost died from a snake bite, and then Kaan had to come claim her, basically. But she's kind of ignoring that. And she almost died, and then they saved her. And we met Veya, who we get point of views of now, who is Kaan's sister. And also knew Raeve. And we get that Raeve ran away and just left Kaan a note. And Veya is super pissed about it too. And at this exact point of time, Raeve is going around with a candlestick and pyrock and trying to, like, buy weapons with it. So she's like, bring me to the quill and whatever it's called. No, curly quill.
Yeah, anyway. She's like very much still on the revenge train. She needs to get back to wreck Zaros.
And kill him.
Yeah. I also want to say that I have a lot of answers this week. Like, not actually, but at the point that I've read, I've gotten a lot of answers. So, answers are forthcoming.
That's good, because we were worried answers might not be forthcoming in this book, and we would have cried.
Yeah.
So, this week is week 4. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Week 4. And we're reading chapters 51 to 73. So, we start off, and Raeve and Pyrock are just, like, walking down the street, and Raeve comments that the folk here are happy, or seem happy. And he's just like, yep. And then he asks if she's been anywhere but Gore. And she thinks about the cold journey north after she escaped from ... there. And the horrors and the loneliness of it. But she just says that she's only been here.
Oh.
And that she didn't see much on the way because, one, she was in Raygun's mouth, and the second trip she was unconscious. So we do get that she's been somewhere when she escaped from wherever she woke up and her life started.
Yeah.
So we kind of get an answer for that too, like a tiny answer for that today. But it's just interesting, so
yeah.
Hopefully we get more. I want more of that story. I'm like, we're getting a fair bit of, like, her actual past. I'm like, I want to know what happened in the life that she remembers too.
Yes.
She's very cagey.
Yeah, and, like, wasn't she... I don't know. Okay. I got nothing.
Cool. She's then just, like, to Pyrock, she's like, are you trying to take me on a tour? Because I swear we've been here already. And he's just like, well, we don't have anything to do. And she's like, I sure do. I want to get the fuck out of here. So he ends up buying a molten mead, and he pays for it with gold. And it's basically just a way to get us to know that this kingdom doesn't use dragon blood. Stone, yeah. And he says that this kingdom doesn't support mining fossilized dragon blood. And he says mining it promotes spilling it, which is completely true. So, interesting.
Yeah, so the other kingdoms, that's how they pay you, in buckets of dragon bloodstone.
Yeah. Which is actually dragon's blood, which seems wild. But I guess, like...
Yeah. Just another way that Kaan is a good guy.
Of course, yeah. We're seeing that so much.
Yeah.
So he stops in front of the curly quill, and she goes in, and she's hoping that the dragon stick. What is wrong with me? I have no words. The candlestick is worth a lot of gold. So she walks up to a counter, and there's a man there with white eyes, and he looks up, and she just has a, like, quick flash of a memory of a big pair of ivory eyes, an icy breath, and a leathery nose, and her heart so full of love and hurt. So we know since last week, which I probably should have said in the recap, that she's Elowen.
Yes.
She doesn't really remember it, though, but she is getting these flashes of memory. So we can assume, based on the diary entries we've heard so far this book, that that this is a memory of
her dragon.
Starts with an S.
Slatra.
Yeah. Slatra. Yes. Yeah. I was like, Strava? Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? So we can assume that this is Slatra? Yes.
So Slatra is the other.
Yeah, that's what...
Sorry, it just came to me.
Yeah. Well, we really get a moment of that this week of, like, interesting. So yeah. She gets back to herself in the shop after her little vision. And she starts to say what she wants. And he just says that she's here to hawk the stolen candlestick and calls her Raeve. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh, you're a mind weft. And she says that she thought they were all taken to work for the imperial families. And obviously he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because he's here. But he says that she has an interesting mind. And that there's a hidden depth packed with more hurts and secrets than he can count. And he asks her how she does it. And she just says that she ignores it mostly. And which kind of is another reason why I'm kind of like, did she just freeze all of her prior memories and ignore them so much that she forgot them?
I don't know. I don't have the answers to that.
We get a bit more information later this week, so maybe that'll give us it. And then he just lists off everything she wants. He's like, she wants a flush of dragon scale blades, 6 iron blades, a bandolier, iron pins, and a bag to carry everything in to go kill Rexeros. And she's like, yes, that's exactly what I want. And then she says that she had a house fire. And he says that he's sorry about Essie and about Nee. And she's just like, shit, like this is
getting
too much.
Yeah, getting too personal.
And then he just says that she also wants a metal mixing stick so that she can try to get her cuff off. And she asks him if he thinks it would work. And he says he has something better for her to try. So he's a nice man. And then he, I guess, just looks around some more. And he says he sees why she can't use her money. And says that Sareem is nasty. So, like, he's really digging into her brain.
Yeah. And we know that she can't use her money. Because then Sareem will know that she's alive. And control her using her blood.
Yeah. Which is obviously going to come up at some point, but I'm not ready for it. And then he says that she lost something so special, and he actually starts to cry. And I'm like, why do people start crying at her trauma? Like, I just feel like it puts her in the position of having to comfort people then, and I'm just like, this is too much for her.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's just like, no. But he says that she lost something special and says that the answer is in her and he can help her drain the, we're assuming, lake. But she just says enough, and then he gets up and he says he'll go grab some decoy purchases for her. So he brings her a notebook, ink and coal sticks, and a small metal sharpening tool for the cuff. And he brings her change. And he says he'll send a lark when the rest of it is ready. So she takes the bag that he gives her, and she thinks it's beautiful and high quality and that it's wasted on her. And he cuts in and says that it's not. And he tells her to He tells her to hurry because rain is coming. And he says that she'd be able to hear it without the cuff. And if she bothered to listen. But she says that she listens to Claude because she's playful and wild and vicious and doesn't wallow or sulk. And rain is tears and bloodshed. So we're getting that she can hear rain, but she just chooses not to listen to her because she's sad.
Yeah, because Rain is her sadness and her emotion. She doesn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. But he tells her that Rain is power, and he says that half of their world is coated in powdered power, and no one is strong enough to wield it, but she could be if she didn't tuck all of her sadness into the lake. So I'm like, is this some kind of like one of these books? Obviously, if she's going to like take control of all of the snow and ice that like where the moon plumes live and like kill the bad kings or something, she's gonna do something with this. He wouldn't tell us otherwise.
Yeah.
She cuts him off and just says thank you, and he says that it's his greatest honor.
Oh.
Yeah, so interesting. Then we get a diary entry, and Elwyn is 18, as she has been forever, it seems. So a female with the same eyes as the male that came to see her comes with food, but she just falls asleep. And then the male comes back and scoops her up, and Slatra does nothing to stop him, and he just drops her in a bath, and the female washes her. She like tries to cover up, but the female tells her that bodies are not something to be shy about where she's from, no matter their shape or size, which we kind of got was a thing at the burn, but yeah. I do like it. And we get that this female is Veya Vegor. So we met her last week in this timeline, but in this timeline of the past, she's like nicer. She apologizes for her brother, and Elwyn thinks that she'll never forgive Tyroth for taking her kingdom and her independence, because she doesn't know which brother Veya is talking about. And then Veya just kind of like talks at her, but she stays silent until Veya asks if she would like to try combat lessons. And she answers yes, which makes Veya smile. So we go back to the present, and Pyrock is watching Raeve try to break her cuff off while they're sitting at a bar and drinking. And he's laughing because she's failed for the 37th time.
Yikes.
And Pyrock asks her if Vroon, who is the mind weft, hit a nerve. And she just says several.
Yeah.
And she can tell that she's kind of being a bitch now, but she's fine with it. He then says that she and Veya got off on the wrong foot. And she just says that she was hungry and Veya ate in front of her, so she was pissed. I'm like, also, Veya was being a bit of a bitch on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I think Veya is annoyed because, like, Elwyn's reasons for leaving are still, like, even though we know that she must have her reasons, she still left, and that still was hurtful for Veya, like, well, obviously, and for Kaan, but, like,
yeah.
It wasn't just Kaan she left. It's one of those things.
Yeah. No. And I feel like Veya even knows that because she's going to look for this journal because she's convinced there's something else to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, but Pyrock says that he thinks that she'd like Veya if she got to know her, but Raeve just thinks, like, it doesn't matter, she's not staying. So she asks for his help with the cuff, but he says that it's likely there for a reason.
Valid.
And she says it's... yeah. She says it's because she bit off the tip of Rex's finger. And then she asks what's at the western point that she keeps looking towards. And she looks over at Pyrock and he shivers. And she's like, oh, that's about the finger. She was like, it grosses me out too. But... obviously, we think it's about the, like, looking at the western point.
Yeah.
Asking about it.
Yeah.
But he tells her that the western point is walled off and a hushling lives there. So then he goes to get them some more mead. And she thinks that she wants to be drunk if she has to stay near Kaan tonight.
Ew.
Which is just kind of funny. So she looks out the window and she's looking for, like, the Carter hutch, which she kind of mentioned last week. And she knows that molten maws normally ferry passengers. And she sees one land, and then she hears her beer get laid down. So she asks if that's where the Carter hutch is. And then Kaan asks her if she's thinking of going somewhere. And she's like, for fuck's sake. Because she expected it to be Pyrock coming back, obviously. And she just stares at him, and she thinks how hot he is.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yeah. And she just says, instead of answering his question or anything like that, she just says that she's seen the city and it's not what she expected. And they kind of banter a bit, and it's really cute. And then he, like, easily gets her cuff off her arm with her little lock-picking doodad. And she calls him trusting. And he says that she won't kill him because he did save her twice. But she says that it depends on if he's complicit with his brother snatching kids and teaching them to kill and turning them into monsters. And then she asks if he knows that they clip Null's ears, which mark them as vulnerable, and they end up in the Undercity battle pits, where they worry each night they'll be attacked and drained, or that some powerful fuck might take liberties with them. Because if he's complicit with any of that, she will kill him, despite the city, their strange chemistry, and him saving her.
Good.
Like, oof. Yeah. And he's just like, strange chemistry, you say? And you're like, my guy.
Way to focus on that, dude. Not on her killing you if you're doing anything shady, but on the fact that she is now acknowledging your chemistry.
She just shrugs at him, and he says that he does address the rest of it. He says his armada is almost strong enough, but that a war will cost a lot of innocent lives. And she offers to assassinate his brothers. And he says that it's not in their culture because they fight Oa to Oa, like we saw last week. But he knows that his brothers won't fight him now that he and Raigon are Dagamuk. And also, his brothers are twins and they're allies. So if you fight one kingdom, you're fighting both.
Yeah.
So he's kind of fucked. And he also says, like, the war will kill the younglings she just mentioned because they're the, like, front lines of the army. So...
yeah.
It's super messy, even if...
Yeah, sorry. It felt like she was criticizing him to be like, you know, these people need your help. What are you doing? And him being like, have you thought this through? Like, do you understand what war will do? Not just, like, yeah, it might, like, overthrow the kings, but, like, it's gonna do a lot of damage in the meantime.
Yeah. Which is completely fair. I think she kind of needs that check.
Yeah.
I do think she could assassinate them. I think this whole, like, it's against what we...
yeah, I think
like,
that's stupid.
Sure.
Because I don't think they would hesitate once.
To assassinate him.
Correct.
Yeah, agreed. Also, he doesn't have to pay her to do it. She just wants to do it. Yeah. Like, she already wanted to kill... whatever one, Tyroth, not Tyroth.
Cardic.
Carden.
Kadok.
Whatever.
Something like that.
She already wanted to kill him, and now I'm sure if she remembers anything about her past life, she's gonna want to kill the other one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'd do it anyway. But yeah, he's just like, even if we win a war, we won't win. Like, there'll be so much damage, devastation, death.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay, I get it. You can stop. And she says that she's not going to kill him. And he says to let him know if she changes her mind. And she thinks it would be one of the greatest losses this world could suffer if he were to die.
Oh, that's so nice.
She's starting to like him.
Yeah.
Which I think is directly why she then does what she does now. But he asks her to share a meal, and she says no thanks. And then she gives him back his Malmar and thanks him for helping her. And he just says that it wasn't lent to her. And she says it means things that she cannot give him. And he asks what she thinks he wants. And she thinks of a warm heart, of offspring, and of at least someone who gets along with his sister.
Ugh.
Which is kind of funny because, like, I'm sure that's what she would have offered as Elowen. Like, when we're reading her diary entries, I really think that, like, she was like that before all of this shit happened to her.
Like, contrary?
No. Sorry. I mean, she had a warm heart, and she loved his sister, and, like, she probably would have had his babies. Like, she was so, like, she'd gone through a lot of shit, sure, but she was still, like, a sweeter version of herself. Sweet's not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like, more gentle.
Okay.
It seems like, I think. I do, and saying that, I kind of appreciate that he's not treating her like she is who she was. He's treating her as her own kind of person. Yeah. I do appreciate that because, like, she doesn't remember.
Yeah, she's not that person anymore.
Yeah, which is, I think, almost exactly what she says now.
Oh.
Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe she says it later. I don't know. But, so she lays down the Malmer, and she just leaves him. And she can tell that he's hurting, and she thinks that she should have explained what happened with Essie dying because she tried to help her, and, like, how that always happens to people that she loves, but she can't dig up those memories right now. Especially since she's worried that if she, like, gets into her lake at all, other shit will start coming up that she has to remember, and she doesn't want to do that. Then she thinks, fuck all the stuff she just ordered from the Curly Quill, she's just gonna leave. And it starts to rain, like the Mindwef said it would. And she checks that she has what she calls her sound sneer set so that she can only hear Claude. But then as the rain starts falling, she can hear Rain's song. And she feels like the rain is begging, the rain that's falling is begging to be put back together, and it's all heartbreaking. And she kind of realizes that the rain song here is a different frequency than the one she's used to. So she tries to close out all of the sound, but it starts to pour, and her snare in her mind erupts. And Rain's devastating song is in her head and in her heart. And she can't stop it. So she just, like, cowers and covers her ears, and she starts to cry. And she begs and screams for it to stop, but it doesn't. And then Kaan just shows up and, like, holds her. And he says that he knew a female who'd cry when it rained. And that female thought he wouldn't notice it. And he's like, her name was, and Raeve just says, Elowen. And then he tells her that the cuff was a kindness because she doesn't need to weaponize herself here, and it storms often. So that's kind of why he left it on, so that she wouldn't be attacked by the rain. So she asks him to distract her, and I was like, oh, sex.
Yes, please.
But he hums to her, and everything feels so familiar, like being in his arms and him holding her, and then he kisses her, or like his lips are so close to her neck that it's like a kiss, and she just feels so familiar in that moment. And she asks him after how he knew her song, but then she worries that the answer will be too big for her to take. And he just says that there's something he needs to show her. And he takes her hand and he kisses her knuckles, and she follows him into the stronghold. And they go to what she assumes is his room. And I know, I'm like, damn, we're just going for it. We're not. So there's a little sitting area, and there's like a big string instrument, and he puts his Malmar on it. And there's a swirling corked drink that he hides from her. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I also want to know what that is.
And then he has a giant map with lots of black crosses, and most of them are the south of Gore. And I'm assuming what we see almost shortly, very shortly, is what these like little X's are about. So this one I think makes sense, but I just don't know what the liquid is. And this big map has a dagger that he's clearly thrown at the wall a bunch of times. And everything's dusty except for the dagger and the instrument and the bottle. And then the ceiling is full of Rygun's scales and the cyber scythe tusks. And it made me wonder, I forget what the guy next to her in jail had found that he was looking for.
A shard. Dragon shard.
It was a shard? Yeah. Okay. I assumed it was, but I couldn't remember for sure. So yeah. So then he goes and brings her back a towel because she's soaking. And then he brings her outside and through a garden and into a tunnel that's covered by like greenery. And at first she doesn't want to go in. And she tells them that this is how folk die and how she killed them because she's an assassin. And it makes her wonder what he'd carve on her chest. And she thinks he'd probably carve returns precious gifts, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then he tells her to listen. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, really listen. And she realizes he means listen to Boulder. So she does. And she feels Boulder humming. So it's not like the normal song she would normally hear. And Kaan explains that this is a place of nurture, love, and worship. So he wouldn't kill her here.
Thank God.
Right? And she's like, well, can you just tell me what's here? And he's like, no. So she's like, okay, I'll go, but I have a dagger. So she follows him down thousands of steps. And I'm like, is this an exaggeration? Because fuck
That's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are light bugs on the wall lighting the way. And she asks if it's much further. And he says no. And he asks if she's getting cold and like if she wants his tunic. And she's like, no way. But she starts to feel like drawn to the bottom. And she even says that something at the bottom starts to feel like home.
Oh.
So, yeah. They get to the bottom and it's full of light. And we see it's a cavern. And there are carvings of a moon plume in different poses. So it's all the same moon plume. And in the middle is a massive silver moon. And it, like, takes her breath away for a moment. And then something in her settles, and she's overwhelmed by the moon's beauty. And the dragon is curled up with their head beneath a frayed membrane and the tail wound, like, in the dragon's arms almost. And she feels Boulder's hum and thinks that Boulder's like acting as a nest for this moon and like treasuring it, which is nice. And then she says that it's his moon because of the tattoo on his back, yeah. I guess. And he says that her name was Slatra. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is too
yeah. Soon. Oh, yeah. No, this was a mistake.
And yeah. And he says that he hasn't found the final piece yet, and there's a small crevice in the back. And she notices the fissures in it, and that it was thousands of pieces, and he's put it together. And I'm like, yeah, that's what the map was. All the X's were where he found pieces, I assume.
What?
Remember the map in his room? That had a whole bunch of X's on it that I just mentioned?
I mean, yes, sure.
I'm assuming that's where the little marks are, where he found the pieces.
Oh, yeah.
That's just my assumption, but what else would he be doing? So she asks him why, and he says it hurts knowing that she's not whole. And like he said, there's still a piece missing, so he's saying it still hurts that she's not whole.
We have one final piece to go. I wonder if he manages to put it back. Will Slatra, like, come back to life?
That would be good. Especially if Slatra is the other.
Well, yeah.
Because then the other will have somewhere to go.
Yeah, she could just be like, pop out, pop in.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I would like that a lot. So Raeve takes a closer look at it, and she sees that the dragon was cradling something. And she kind of stares at it, and she feels the tail next to her, and she thinks it was cradling her. And that makes her stumble back. And Kaan asks if she's familiar with the moon. And she gets a memory now that she kind of like disconnects from. And I wonder if this isn't her memory, but this is the other's memory, and it's Slatra's memory.
Oh, yeah.
Because, so she wakes up from eternal sleep, and she's in what she now knows is a cage and shackles. And she's trying to figure out how her body works and moves. And everything is blurry. And she has hands that move and lungs that breathe. And I'm like, is she just not used to this body because she is the other? She is Slatra?
Yeah.
Maybe. But she sees a cart being wheeled away with shards of brightness that are beautiful, and she asks to see them, but the person ignores her, and she knows that she's trapped here. So, I don't know if that's her or it's the other, but I do feel like it is Slatra that is the other inside of her. So she just had that memory, and Kaan is just like, answer me. And I'm like, dude.
Give her a minute.
This is not the time.
Yeah.
Back off. But she's starting to feel trapped. And she knows that the shards were scavenged when she was, like, taken there. So we're assuming that the moon fell and she was just alive in the middle of it. Seems wild, but I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why she kept seeing them go by her cell with all these pieces. And her cell was in a mountain of ice with a belly of fire, which I'm sure the fire comes up because obviously she was tortured with fire at some point. So he asks again if the dragon is familiar, and she says she has no idea what he's talking about. And she goes towards the door, and he says she's lying and says that she knows the moon better than anyone. And there's a rumbling in her lake that says it's true, but she ignores it and she focuses on her anger. And he says that this beast cradled her for 100 phases, breathing life into her broken body until they fell from the sky and she broke from Slatra like a hatching dragon. And she just calls him mad because it does sound crazy. But, okay, this is why I think that nobody did anything to her memories, but that she kind of solidified them herself. So he says she's lying and she knows the moon better than anyone. And there's a rumbling in her lake that says it's true, but she ignores it and focuses on her anger. And I kind of wonder if, I was kind of saying earlier, if like her being frozen, I didn't say this, but if her being frozen in the moon is why she has the lake and why her memories are forgotten. Like, I don't think anyone did this to her. I think it's just like...
You think it was like trauma, like self-imposed trauma, maybe?
Yeah. And like, maybe even Slatra froze her memories so that she didn't have to deal with them.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just feel like this is a huge mistake on his part.
Oh my god, such a huge mistake.
Although, can I be honest though and say that like she knows in her head that he's not incorrect, right? Like she can sense it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really rude to Slatra's like memory, and like Slatra's living within her. I think it's really rude for her to be like, no, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think she needs to admit it to herself before she admits it to him, and she can't really do that yet. I just think he shouldn't be pushing this part on her. Like, he could be like, hey, look at this cool dragon.
Yeah.
And then, like, leave her to think about it for a bit. But he says that this beast cradled her for 100 phases, breathing life into her broken body until they fell from the sky, and she broke from Slatra like a hatching dragon. And she just calls him mad. And he says he knew a female who died tragically, and this beast flew her body into the sky with his torn out heart in her fist, and her name was Elwyn. And she laughed with the wind and cried with the rain, angered with fire, and bellowed with the ground. And her heart thumped in synchrony
Yeah.
with, and Raeve is just like, that's enough. So, he makes a flame, and she's immediately like paralyzed by the look of it, and he brings it close to her face, and she knows that he's going to burn her. And she literally says that she knows it. And it's like, I don't know, that's just like, she trusts him at this point. Has feelings for him at this point, in a way. But she still is so traumatized that she's like, he's going to do this. I know he is, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes a difference when you know things later on.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other inside of her is watching. And he tells her to look him in the eye and tell him that she can't hear the fire. And not to blink when she plunges that dagger into his heart or something. He's being very dramatic about this.
Yeah.
So she tells him... yeah. She tells him to crush the flame or she'll crush him. And she's aware that the other is, like, ready to come out and, like, I assume protect her is kind of what I thought the other is trying to do in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So he, of course, asks, who hurt you?
Whenever anyone says that, I'm sorry, all I can think of is Family Guy. When Peter is listening to, like, Lionel Richie, and he's, like, curled up, and he's saying, who hurt you? Who hurt you? And it's just really weird.
That's really funny.
It's really random, but, like, it's all I got.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't got that. But I like it, I think. And she says that she does not hurt, she hardens. Which also, a little later, you're kind of like, oof.
Yeah.
And that no, the flame did not sing to her, or she would have ordered it to suicide in a puddle. And he says, don't lie to me. But I feel like, and I don't know if maybe it's like, because she was tortured, we assume tortured with fire based on everything we've talked about. Like, do you think she can talk to the fire still and has, like, ignoring it? Or did she block it off so much with her trauma or bury it so much? Like, what are your thoughts?
I feel like it's definitely I think it's definitely a trauma situation. Like, I think she's capable of it, and I just think she absolutely refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that because of the trauma, she can't. So I don't really think it's a lie in this case. Not that I'm saying she never lies, because she lies a fucking lot. But I feel like
her lies are like lies to just, like, she doesn't want to admit things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they're lies to herself too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not just, she's not just lying to him. She wants them to be true, which still makes them lies, but you know. So she says to him to stop talking to her like he knows her. And even if she did fall with the moon, she owes him nothing. And Elwyn is dead.
Ugh.
And he just tells her to stop because she's, like, breaking his heart.
But, like, I mean, I hate this because as much as... I just hate this because I want her to remember her past, but I also want her to be with him again. But at the same time, I feel guilty for thinking that because in my brain, I'm like, she's a completely different person. She has no memory of this past. She's had stuff. She's been living a life in the Fade for however long. We don't actually know.
Yeah. And
she has met people. She's developed relationships. She's lost people all in this different setting. Like, in this different life. So, like, she's right. She's not the same person. It just hurts my heart to admit that. And, like, I want her to be the same person, but I know she's not.
Yeah. I feel bad for him because obviously this is hurting his heart. But I'm like, this is the most true thing she's said, that Eowyn is dead. Like, especially right now when she refuses to think about it. Like, yeah. But I want her to remember, but I feel like, it might be the beginning of next week. We're in Kaan's point of view, and he says something about, like, how she's a good mixture. Like, he sees the mixture in her of Raeve and Eowyn. And I'm like, even if she gets her memories back, I love it. I actually like that she's falling in love with him as Raeve. Because it just means that their love is going to be so much stronger when she gets her memories back. Because she's got to. Even if it's, like, not this book. There's 5 fucking books.
But, like, I almost also don't want her to. Because, one, if Essie broke her to the amount that it did, and then she's going to have to almost re-experience her entire family plus Slatra all over again. Like, will she even be a person after that?
Well, then, and she left Kaan and Veya. And, like, we don't know why, but, like, there's clearly something there there's clearly a reason she left them. And we think, even she said, was that this week? Whatever. I think that's later this week. It's not going to be good when she remembers shit.
My running theory is that, like, she, like, we all know that she is supposed to marry Tyroth, like, that is explicitly stated, and that he is running her kingdom until she comes of age. So my running theory is that she chooses to go to Tyroth for her people. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing in my brain that I can think of that would make her leave him, is, like, this responsibility that she feels, to this duty to her people.
Yeah, which makes sense. So yeah, then she said, well, he tells her to stop because his heart is breaking. And she says that saving her and bringing her here where his people love him will not reincarnate Eowyn. And that she is not his and never will be. And I'm like, bitch, you will be. Like, I don't care if you don't get your memories back. We read Romantasy for a reason.
Yeah. If we don't,
you're gonna be his.
If we don't get that HEA, we're not here for it.
We will riot. So she sees the hurt in his eyes, but she walks away. And even though, like, she does feel drawn to Slatra and she wants to climb into her embrace, and she does know that she's running from the truth, but she, like, takes all these feelings and throws them into the lake. So she thinks, like, she has this, like, poetic statement of, like, the unknown, like dragons, needs to be handled with caution, and she likes to live in her blank oblivion. It's lonely, but lonely folk have nothing to lose. Like, that's, I guess.
It's
so she gets up the stairs. Yeah. So she gets up the stairs and she's pissed that she went with him, and she thinks that, like, it's the same moon plume that he has on his back, and then she's like, nope, not gonna think about that. And she grabs her bag from his sitting room and starts stealing some of his blades. And then Kaan comes and stops her. And we're like, oh, he's going to say something. And he just gives her a shit ton of bloodstone for her journey. And he says when she crosses the border to chase death, and he calls her Eowyn Raeve, and to spend her life alone, wondering why she screams in her sleep, calling for the moon plume he spent 23 phases putting together, hoping it would bring her spirit peace. Because she loved it so much. He knew it being broken would break her. It is sweet. But I'm also like... Also, screaming for the moon plume who held her for 100 phases in a moon. It's really funny, actually, because in the beginning of the book, I don't know if it's maybe the first week, she thinks about how she wants to be a moon and how she wishes she could fall from the sky.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, it's one of the, like, I think it might be at the very beginning of the first week, like when she's outside in the snow or something.
Oh.
And she's looking up at the moons and she's like, it's so cool that they can fall on people. Maybe I could fall on the king if I was up there.
Oh.
Like, did she fall on anything? Because that's fun.
I don't know.
Yeah. So he says that he hopes that her bloodlust brings her peace, and that her bloodlust brings her the peace that he feels knowing that she exists, which is sweet. And he kisses her temple, and she almost asks him if Raeve is Elowin's last name, and we know it's not. We know it's the middle name. But she just leaves because she's like, nope.
Yeah, like, can't ask that.
Yeah. And she's on her way to the hutch, but she just, like, completely walks past it before she even realizes that she's going to the Western Shore because she's drawn to something there. So then we have another diary entry, and Elowin is 18 because she's been 18 forever. And she thinks, she wrote that she hasn't written in her diary for a while, but she had her lesson with Veya, and when she went to the hutch, it was locked. And the male Kaan Vegor was by the door, and he's the eldest son of the king. And he's watching over Dom while his pa helps Tyrath in Erythia. So he's playing a string instrument, and there's a bowl of food across from him and a key next to him. So she goes to grab the key, but he stops her and tells her to eat first. And she thinks, like, she's a mood eater like her ma, and the diadem makes her nauseous. But she knows that, like, he's not going to care about that. He said eat. You don't get the key unless you eat. Blah. So she eats it, and it's immediately, like, too much and too spicy for her.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It's almost like she said, the diadem makes her really nauseous, so she can only eat, like, really light food. So, like, she is eating, like, it's like giving someone, like, the richest dish and them being like, I can actually only tolerate dry toast.
Yeah. But it's also, like, I think there is a difference in culture, too, because it's, like, really hot temperature-wise here, and they probably eat hotter food and, like, spicier stuff. But, yeah, she immediately just has to run to the bathroom and is sick. And then when she gets back, the door's unlocked, and he's gone. And then the next night she comes, he's there again, but the food is less spicy, and it's a smaller portion. And that keeps happening every night until, I guess, tonight. I don't know. But they don't talk. She just eats, and she goes to see Slatra, and he plays. And she doesn't know why he's doing it, or why she's starting to look forward to it.
Sitting with somebody as opposed to by yourself.
Yeah. And also, he's doing it because you need to eat.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
You need to get strong.
Is it one of those things where we keep saying, like, eat, girl? Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Raeve doesn't have that problem.
No.
I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Not that I've noticed, and I think we would have, because the past few books we've read have been, like, 100% eat, girl.
Yeah.
So we go to Veya's point of view now, and she's just climbing up a mountainside hutch, and she's just couldn't sleep last night, packed her bags, and she's like, I'm gonna go find the diary. Which is such a wild plan.
It's very meta that she's going to find the diary that we're reading.
Yeah. I like that we got it this way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to read, like, all together.
No.
But it would have also been interesting if we had to read, like, her entire diary when Veya found it.
Oh, God.
That would have been something.
That would have been something.
I don't know if I would have read it.
Would have been a lot.
Yeah. But I guess you'd get her and Kaan, like, Elowin and Kaan falling in love.
Yeah. That's true.
But, yeah. So, yeah. The mountainside hutch thing has 227 burrows for the saber scythes that live there, and, like, they like to move around burrows, so it's a thing that there are so many for them so that they can go to different ones. And she worries that she forgot her tick prongs, but then she, like, looks around in her bag and she finds them, and I was just like, is she gonna have an issue with ticks? Is someone gonna have issue with ticks?
Obviously somebody will, because why would they make a big deal about her needing her tick prongs? It's gonna come up.
And, like, immediately somebody does, but I feel like it's gonna happen again. And not to spoil next week, but it comes up in their card game, too.
Yes, although...
So I did...
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered if, like that was something. I don't know. But anyway, so she sees a burrow that's been abandoned since she was 5, and her ma's dragon, Jogo, was there, and her ma nursed the dragon back to health after he was kicked out of his nest. And when her ma died, Jogo didn't come out of the burrow, which is odd for Saberscythe, because, like I said, they like to switch it up. And then one day he did come out, and he flew into the sky and became a moon. And Pa blamed her. And when she was old enough to understand that Jogo was mourning, she knew it was her fault. Which is just so sad. Her dad is such a piece of shit.
Yeah, like, here's my thing. I would love to know how many moons are up there in that sky.
Oh, there's got to be a bunch.
Like, I would love a rough estimate, because, like, they talk about a lot of them. Like, I just feel like it would be so crowded.
But I think it is, because I feel like when we first heard about the moons, it was like, I forget the description of it. I'd have to go back and look. But I feel like it's a lot.
Okay.
But I guess they fall, too.
Yeah, but I think they said that only, like, 3 have fallen in the most recent age, didn't they?
Oh. I don't really remember. But yeah. Will it get too crowded that nobody will fit up there? Like,
that's what I'm wondering.
I guess you could just start getting, like, above us. Well, it's not infinite. We're different worlds, so I don't know what their world is like. But, like, I'm assuming, are they within the atmosphere? Because then you can have them on different levels of, like, 3D wise. Like,
yes.
They're not all the same distance away.
Yes, that's true.
One only gets so high, and, like, eventually they're just, like, you could walk into a moon because it's so close.
Oh, dear God.
Anyway. But yeah, her pa is a piece of shit, and he's so mean to her. And I just feel bad for her. She goes to pass Raigun's burrow, and she sees Kaan is there, and he has a saddlebag. So she asks where he's going, and he says that the ticks are out with a vengeance, and a charmed beast turned rabid and torched a village. And he gives her a lark, and we get that it's Bloom is the dragon, Bloom. Mm-hmm. And it's Chief Thrawn's beast. So one of the chiefs of this
area, yeah.
So Kaan and Grimm are going to help kill it before it destroys more people, food, livelihood, everything. And Grimm is taking Lane's beast, Nevet.
Interesting.
So Veya just thinks to herself that she hopes that Kaan isn't the one who has to kill the beast for the sake of his tender heart. Because I guess a dragon that has a tick and has gone rabid, they don't get to go up into the sky and moon. They, like, will die on the ground.
Yeah.
So then Veya asks if she really saw him taking her to his shrine. And she's like, "You're the one who said slowly ease her in." And he's like, "I did say that."
He just couldn't help himself.
Yeah. And she says she assumes she didn't throw herself at him before the corpse of her dead dragon. And he's like, "She didn't." And she says, "So you gave her enough gold to buy safe passage to chase her bloodlust, where she's going to be recognized by one of the twins who have access to a tool and will fold her into submission. And that they're fucked if that happens." And I'm like, what? I don't know what the tool is. I kind of thought, like, it was the diadem. Like, put it back on her.
I just thought it could have been the blood. Like, that bloody necklace.
That Sareem has?
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think that Sareem is working with one of the twins? Or, like, do you think they have...
In all fairness, it could be anything. Like...
Yeah.
I think it would be one hell of a twist if Sareem comes around and is like, "Oh, I was working for the bad guy all along."
Yeah.
And, like,
but there's no way that Sareem like, if that is true, because we don't know who the head of the Oth is either. Like,
No.
we don't know who that person is. So it could be that she's working for somebody else. That's bad. But I don't think that Sareem knows that Raeve is Elwyn.
No, maybe not.
But I feel like, I mean, if there is a twist that she's working for a bad guy, I feel like the surprise to her will be that Elwyn is who she is.
Could be.
Because if she knew, I think she would use her for leverage. Or something.
I am just, like, worried that turns out it was the brothers who brought her back and who hid her. I'm like, did they hide her in the Fade? And, like, maybe Sareem was there to, like, keep tabs on her.
Yeah, maybe. Could be. We're just coming up with shit now. But there's got to be, like we keep fucking saying, there's 5 books. There's going to be some twists that are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, there's twists in this one book, let alone 4 more. So, yeah. Kaan tells Veya that he's going to be gone until the Great Flirt. And she just says that that's predicted to be, like, 30 Aurora cycles away. And he just says that he's been gone, I guess, to the Fade because he went for that shard. And then he was obviously gone dealing with Raeve. So he says he has work to do in the kingdom and that Raeve doesn't want him around. But he does tell her, too, that Raeve actually went to the Western Point. And Veya just says that she's still in there. And he says somewhere. So that's interesting. So Kaan and Raigan get ready, and they're, like, about to leave, and he's like, oh, wait a second, what are you doing here? And she just says that she's gonna go look for a journal in the entirety of the Fade. Like, obviously not really, but still, that's how I feel it is. I'm like, how are you gonna fucking find a journal that nobody's found since?
But she must know where it is. Like, I just feel like she has to know where it is. Because she knows she has to go get the bracelet first. Yeah. So in my brain, she knows exactly where it is.
Oh, okay.
She just has to... Maybe it's in a hard-to-get spot.
Yeah. That would make sense. So, yeah. He immediately says no. And she says there's things that she needs to know. Like, this isn't just about him. And he's like, well, I'll go get it. And she says that he may be able to hide from Kadok in the Fade, but he wouldn't be able to hide from Tyroth. And she can make herself unseen. And he just says that she told him that she got rid of the bangle. And she says that she lied. But we're in her head, and we know that she didn't lie, and that step 1 is actually to go get the bangle. Which is funny.
Yeah.
So she tells him that she's going to be gone for a while because she plans to taste some delicacies on the way. And he's just like, ew, you're talking about having sex with people and you're my sister. I don't want to hear about it. Which is just funny. So he's just like, fine, go. And she's just like, oh, are you worried about me? And he says, ever since Pa shoved her in his arms, screaming and bloody. And I just feel bad for them as children.
Yeah.
So she says that she wishes that their Pa had another neck for her to sever. And he says that he wishes that she had 3. And that makes her realize how shitty it's going to be for him to have to tell Elwyn what their Pa did the night that she found her family dead. So we're assuming he either poisoned them himself or orchestrated the poisoning.
Yeah. Because, like, I'm assuming that the dad said, no way, Jose, you're not marrying my daughter.
Yeah, because that's kind of what we got in the diary entry. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if he was even ready to kill them. Because when we first read it, I was just like, oh, did she not get killed because she was outside? Yes. But now it's like, oh, she didn't get killed because they wanted to orchestrate this.
Yeah.
Because the father was obviously putting one of his sons in each place.
Mm-hmm.
so that they could control the world. It really reminds me of Underworld. It would have been like if Tyroth had been the one to like come in and like save her after her family was killed or something.
Yeah.
They didn't go that way completely, but it just kind of reminded me of it.
Yeah. Oh my god, I need to rewatch that movie. I love that movie so much.
So good.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I even really...
My awakening
I know,
she's so hot.
I even really liked the second one.
Me too. Has one of the hottest sex scenes of a movie ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does.
And I saw it in theaters with my dad.
Ah!
Anyway, so, yeah. So she's worried about Eowyn finding that out because she says, like, she's already bloodlusting. Like, she'll be crazed if she hears that and she has no one to kill, I guess, other than the two brothers. Which kind of makes me wonder, is there something, like, does the other inside of Raeve make her... Because, like, we kind of talked about it. We think that it could be her dragon. But does that make her more bloodthirsty than regular fae people in this world?
I don't know. I don't understand because, like, other than the fact that they have magic and they live a really long time, they don't do any of the fae things. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Well, like
she could smell him and she was like, he's the most delicious smelling guy ever.
No,
like,
but
main character.
I guess they're not, like, they don't focus on that. Like, there's none of the mate situation. Like, the males are not, like, these alpha males that, like, growl all the time. They're not, like, it just doesn't seem like they're ruled by their baser instincts. They seem a lot more human. They, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't say that they can smell when you're turned on.
Yes.
Which is ideal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, Kaan leaves and she goes to get ready. So then we go to Rave's point of view. And she sees Kaan and Rhaegon in the air. And she's just like, wonder what they're doing. But she keeps going to the western point. And she kind of wonders, like, if somebody fucked with her brain when she was passed out. Which, I didn't really think of it, but I'm like, is this foreshadowing? Did someone fuck with her brain when she passed out after she fell from the moon?
I don't know. I just want to know, like, I would just really want to know who found her and, like, who fucked her up.
Well, we kind of find out some this book, but not a lot. So she gets to a wall full of warnings, and it's like, danger, turn back, a hushling lives here. But she just keeps going because she knows that if a hushling was actually here, no runes would hold them back, and they would have gone into the city to get people's brains. So I think we kind of talked about hushlings a few times, but they just eat people's brains through their noses.
Great.
Yeah.
What a fun time. What a fun area to live.
Yeah, great. So she thinks that there's some other reason that there's a warning here, like someone's trying to keep something out of here. And then she notices a tree, and, like, Claude stops and giggles and moves the leaves of it, and she sees that a knot is, like, smooth and weird looking. And she pulls the knot out of the tree and just, like, puts her whole hand in the tree. And I was thinking, like, the knot in the tree would be like a cork. But clearly she can fit her hand in it. And I'm like, that's huge.
Well, see, I think of a knot as being, like, really big because of Princess Bride. Because that he lands on a knot to open the door to the pit of despair. And it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny.
I know. It's your favorite movie.
It is not.
I know it's not. Catherine doesn't like it. It's our big bone of contention, actually.
Yeah. I was saying it is to be sarcastic, and then I was like, that doesn't actually sound sarcastic, so I just added not. So there's your look into my brain, everyone. So she pulls out a carving, and it's a moon plume and a saber scythe, and it looks like Kaan's Malmer. And it's like a 3D version of it. So she takes it and she puts the knot back. And it's like, obviously, Kaan made this. Or I'm assuming. She feels like there's something important here. And she looks behind foliage, kind of thinking of like the hiding to his tunnel where Slatra was. And she like pushes through the foliage and like follows Stone. And eventually she just like finds an entrance. So she goes into the tunnel and she walks up the stairs into a living space. And there's a cooking bench that looks like the one that at his ma's cabin. And there's 2 mugs and she's tempted to steal one because it's like the best mug ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because it was made for you. And there's just like 2 of everything and there's a bunch of carvings around. And she thinks she should go because she feels like she's intruding on somebody else's
life. Yeah.
Love nest. But Claude says, come see. And Wind goes up the stairs. And she thinks that, like, if she dies, she's blaming it on Claude. Because one time Claude sent her to save a young Hugging. And she almost died. So she checks Boulder. And the place feels a lot like Slatra's tomb did. Which was like a nice humming, peaceful thing. So she decides to go upstairs. And there's just a large pallet there. And she just immediately has a vision. And in her vision, she crawls across the pallet and looks up at Kaan and she touches herself. And she has a hunger that can never be sated with him. And he kisses her and bites her neck. And she almost comes and he says, what do you want, Elowen? And she says, you, forever. So she has that vision and she falls to her knees. And she thinks, like, this place isn't a relic of someone else's love. It's their love. So then we get a diary entry. And Elowen is again 18. And Kaan plays her a song that her ma and pa used to sing to her when she was sick. And she sings along to it until she starts to cry. And it's the first time she's cried since she brought Haedian home. And I'm like...
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is why.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, how do you not cry as, like, a small child?
Yeah. How do you not cry as an adult? So, she thinks that she cries for her ma, her pa, Haedian, Illum, Slatra, and everything that was taken from her. And Kaan picks her up and holds her, absorbing her sobs, and it reminds her of the way that her pa picked up her ma, which makes her cry even harder.
Mm.
So they're getting closer, and she's sad. Not because they're getting closer, but just because.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they're... Yeah. So we go to Kaan's point of view, and he is in this ruined town talking to the chief, and the way that it is written, it makes it feel like it was, like, immediate, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But apparently it was the chief's dragon that went feral. Kaan did have to kill it.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And, you know, the dragon is just laying in a field to rot, and they do not consider that an honorable way for a dragon to die. The honorable way would be for it to curl up and calcify, solidify, but it didn't. It didn't. So he tells the chief that he's going to provide the town with grain and produce until they can get back on their feet because he's a good leader. He's not his father.
Or his
brothers. The chief thanks him. I love that you're saying like, we haven't actually met the brothers yet. And we're already like, ugh, they're awful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
We haven't met them. Like, this is...
Maybe we're just being poisoned by the characters. Maybe the book is actually going to be about how they're good and we...
No. But I like...
There's five books in the series.
I know, but I like that we have this visceral reaction. Like, I like that the book has triggered this visceral reaction in these characters we have not met yet. So, the chief thanks him for that and, like, says thanks for killing my dragon.
Aww. I kind of love this part,
yeah,
though.
because he just says, like, even if I'd had a shot, I don't think I could have taken it. Because, you know, I guess the bond is really extreme. So after that, Kaan goes to his second in command, Grim. And Grim asks for leave because he heard that the Great Silver Saber Scythe has laid 3 eggs, and he wants to go get one.
Fun.
Yeah. And Kaan is like, dude, you're gonna die if you do this. It's like a way to be a friend.
Yeah.
But Grim
I have so
just
much
says,
faith in you, but 100% gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. But Grim just says, and this is the most confusing part of this entire book for me, in all fairness. This is the part that I want answers the most. So he says he doesn't want to... Yes. He says he doesn't want to replace Inca, but he hates being bound to her grave. And I'm like, okay, how is a dragon... Like, one, is Inca his wife that is dead, or is it his old dragon that is dead? Because it does not make sense. And I'll tell you why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't clarify.
It does not clarify. Because, one, if it's a dragon, why is he bound to her grave? Because you don't bind to dragons, you bind to other people. And if it's a woman, how is a dragon baby going to fix his feelings?
Well, he can't fix them any other way. He's a man.
So, like, I'm just so confused. I don't get it at all.
No, I know. I was very confused too. I was like, I kind of assumed it was his dragon when I read it. But now that you're saying, like, his grave, I mean, her grave.
Being bound to her grave.
That doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, because the word bound very distinctly refers to your life partner, like the person you marry. So, like, what the fuck?
And also, I don't think you bury dragons even if they don't go in the sky.
No.
Like, the ones we've seen have just been left to rot, and then, like, people live in them or fight in them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Ugh. And so much
So
like
confusing.
a man to think that a dragon's gonna fix the grief you feel for your wife. Although, something that I just thought of, maybe he's going and maybe he doesn't think he's actually gonna do it either.
Oh,
like, maybe
that's
this
sad.
is like a last hurrah.
Yeah, he's just going to die.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
I'm so sorry. I literally just thought of
That
this.
makes the most sense, though.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, God.
No. Sad.
Yeah. I know, I brought it down. I'm gonna bring it back up. So Kaan just thinks the idea is silly, but says, I'll drop you off at the hatchery regardless. So, like, they go on their merry way. Then we go to Veya's point of view. So she's arrived in the Fade. And she is traveling along a wall in the Fade on some, like, really old Fae lady's cart. Raeve. I don't know if that's how you spell it. It's how I'm saying it, though.
You don't know if that's how you spell it?
Oh, God.
We're really killing it with words today.
We kill it with words every day.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, I don't know if this is how you pronounce it, but I'm saying it that way anyway. Noeve.
Yeah.
It's Noeve. No Eve. So I'm saying it that way. So Veya is not using, like, the normal, like, the hutch. Like, she obviously left her dragon somewhere, but she doesn't want to fly right into the main hutch and alert her brother Kadok to her presence. So she's taken the back roads.
Yeah.
And she thinks that she doesn't want to encounter him unless it's in an arena where she can cut his head off. So, like, they really don't like each other.
Yeah.
So Veya asks Raeve if she is still getting people out of the city for the queen. But she says, not since the queen actively opposed an execution. And I took this to mean Rave's, because she did actively oppose that execution and, like, stopped it and wanted to save Raeve. So I'm assuming that the queen has either been punished or had to lay low or something.
Yeah.
Since she did that.
Do you think she told Kadok why she opposed it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
She'd be
I don't
real
either,
dumb if she did.
Yeah. Do you think he, like, tortured it out of her?
Very well could have. I wouldn't put anything past this mystery person that I don't know.
I know, that we immediately just hate on sight. I wouldn't put anything past him either.
This naive person calls Caddick a shit stain. We would agree.
Oh, fun.
And it just does seem like everybody dislikes him. Like, it doesn't seem like anyone actually enjoys his reign. Veya tells...
Which...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, makes it interesting. Sorry, I was drinking so slow. But it makes it interesting that Sareem, like the head of the Ath, didn't want Raeve to go after the king and kill him.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if there's something there.
Yeah.
Like, did they send her after people that weren't actually on the king's side? Or, like, you know, is there some, like, double-crossing bullshit?
Oh, no. I don't like that.
Interesting.
So Veya tells Raeve that she's here to collect something that she threw down a rubbish chute over 100 phases ago. And I'm like, you think something is going to be there after 100 years? That's wild.
Well, this is her whole jam, is praying that things are there after 100 years.
Yeah, that's true. And she said she dropped it here after a blank spot in her head that was about 30 phases long. So she actively... So, like, I took it as she wiped 30 years from her memory.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thought. Although, I do wonder if she's got some sort of hidden secret in her lost memories. That maybe once we reveal, it'll be like the key to defeating people or something like that.
Yeah, like there's gotta be
something.
There's 5 books.
I feel like that's...
I gotta stop saying it. It's annoying me.
But anyway, so
we gotta go somewhere.
So it turns out there is a velvet trog at the bottom of the rubbish chute. And she's going to have to contend with that velvet trog, which is apparently really dangerous. But she knows that the trog is obsessed with jewelry, so she's going to try and trade for the bangle that she dropped. And I'm like, do you honestly think the trog still has it? Like,
yeah.
I mean, she does, but like...
Of course she does.
That's plot. In reality, if I lost something a week ago, it's gone. 100 years. I wouldn't be keeping that.
No. I would never find it again. Well, I'd be dead. But...
Yeah. So then we do a diary entry really quick. So apparently she hasn't seen Kaan. She's still 18, by the way. Hasn't seen...
Of course she is.
And again, I really want to know how old he is.
That's not an again. But I do too.
I feel like I mentioned it last week. Didn't I?
I don't remember you mentioning it.
Oh, maybe I've just thought it. But like...
Yeah, probably. Because like I didn't think of it. Because you mentioned it to me earlier.
Yes.
And it was the first time it came to my brain.
Right. Okay, so maybe I've just...
Because I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I've just been thinking about it. I just really want to know how old he is. Because if she's 18, if he's any more than 24, we have a problem.
And he probably is.
I know. Now, I mean, like, obviously we've gotten to that point in society where if he's, like, over 100 years old, it's fine again. But, like... but yeah, I really want to know how old he is.
Yeah, that's
tell
fair.
me I'm wrong.
I can't. I did not think of it. I don't know why. It seems ridiculous not to have thought of it at all. But I didn't even think of it. And then I was like, oh, well, he has to be 18. But he's the oldest of all of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're twins, so that's not really that hard. But he's the oldest of them. Older than them. And he held his sister when she was born in like a fatherly way.
Yep. And Veya is
and, like,
at least 18.
Yeah. It does make it worse that Raeve also, like, she's presumably, I don't know, at best in her 20s when she dies and goes into the moon. And then she loses 100 years. So really she's only 32? Is that math?
You're the math major.
Oh, no, more than that. 33, 9, 42? That's such a weird age, too. But she's 42 now because it was 23 years after the 100 years. But she was calcified for 100 of them. So realistically, she only has 42 years of living.
Yeah. And he's
had 123 more than he had before, and he was already old.
Yeah. Ugh, it's weird. Anyway, so we're back to Elwyn being 18 and Kaan being God only knows. And
Sure.
she hasn't seen him in a whole week ever since she cried in his arms.
Oof, it's her fault.
I know. And she woke up in her dragon's tail, like curled up, so that's where he put her. But, like, even though she hasn't seen him, every night there is a fresh meal for her and a new little carving of a dragon. And she's just frustrated because she hasn't seen him. Like, he's not making himself known to her. So she just takes it out on her feelings. Like, she's just worried that he pities her, so she's taking out her feelings during training and, like, kicking and punching everything with Veya. So, we go back to Veya's point of view. So, she is at the rubbish chute. She climbs down it. She's gonna approach, and she's gonna take on the Velvet Trog. So, she thinks that the next time she gets a hold of a magical bangle, she's gonna put it in her jewelry box and not throw it down a rubbish chute, which is important.
Smart.
Yeah. So, she lands, and immediately she hears something crunching and chewing, and it's the Velvet Trog. And immediately when I was taking my notes, I was like, oh my god, she's eating a human.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't a human, it was a chair. So I'm like, does she get nutrients from these items that she eats, or is this just for memories? Like, I wonder.
Oh, it must also be for memories. Man, there's definitely a lot of information on chairs. How many people? How many people have sat on them?
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, that would seem very daunting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that.
No, I don't think I would.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, she sort of makes herself known officially, but sort of peers in and sees that the Velvet Trog is actually wearing the bangle on its head, which indicates that she likes it. So she decides, I'm just going to drag a chair over and I'm going to talk to the Velvet Trog like it's my friend.
Fair enough.
And she tells it that the Trog has something of hers and she would like it back. And then she points at the bangle, and the Trog says, did you know things have memories? And Veya is worried the Trog is going to eat the bangle, which, fair play, they might. And the Trog then tells her that the richer that the memory is, the more gluey of a secretion she makes. And it, lights up, and she puts it around her cave like string lights. And it's really weird. Yeah. So apparently the richer a memory, the more of this gloopy, glowy substance she gets. And it's gross. And so the Trog then also tells her she's been saving this bangle for a special occasion. So Veya offers a trade and says, I have the Malmer that belonged to my mother. That was a gift from my father. And she was like, I stole it at 17. And she thought to herself that the reason she stole it is to justify how much her dad hated her. If she actually did something bad, it would justify why he hates her, instead of him just hating her existence.
Brutal.
Yeah. So the Trog then tells her that the bangle is just a little bit richer in memory, so it's worth more. And she just says that the Velvet Trog can have the chain that the bangle is on, and the Malmer, and the Trog accepts. So Veya tosses her the Malmer, and the Trog tosses her the bangle, and then just eats the chain, which is weird.
She was saving it forever, and she's like, well, I guess now's a special occasion.
I'm hungry. So she eats the chain, senses its memories, and asks, like, do you want to know the secrets of this bangle and chain? And Veya's like, nope.
And Kristen's like, yes?
Yes, please. For the love of God. So, Veya admits that she doesn't really remember what to do with the bangle, but she knows that she used it. So,
yeah,
she just knows she gotta put it on. So, she says goodbye to the Trog and makes sure the Trog won't eat her. Because she's like, are you gonna eat me? And the Trog is like, no, I don't kill the people I make deals with. And she's like, oh, okay, how many people have you made deals with before? And he was like, 6 people. So that's how many people the Velvet Trog have actually dealt with. Well, not necessarily dealt with, but said yes to, which is crazy dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And so Veya just thinks about how she got the bangle. So apparently she got it from a mind weft who claimed to know to speak the language of ether and said that the bangle would serve her in 2 ways. And that both of them would be painful but necessary.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So then we get another diary entry. So Kaan comes back. So remember, this is Elwyn at 18. She was missing Kaan. He comes back, but he doesn't explain where he went, and she doesn't ask. But he's got a fresh scar down his arm, and he's got his Malmer on. So I'm like, did he go get it? Did he have to make it? What did he do with it?
Yeah, there's lots of questions. I was like, did he have to go fight the Oath or something? Like, I don't know why. Did he have to fight somebody for it?
Well, especially if it's an individual thing, right? Like, no one else is going to have one like his.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, like, was he the ruler over there at this point?
I feel like he had to have been, because he was the ruler until he killed his dad, which had to be
right
not that long after this, right. I assume.
So he's playing music and it's dinner time, and he plays the song that her parents sang to her as a child, and it sort of connects them. So she they go to like a quiet, secluded area. She gets closer to him. He cups her face and asks what she wants. And her response is, she just wants him. And she's just so comforted by his touch. And, like, she just wants to stay that way. And I love that for her.
Yeah, it's sad because she lost fucking everyone.
Yeah. Like, she needs somebody who... Like, she needs somebody.
It's nice.
Yeah.
She does.
Anyway, so, end of the diary entry. And... Oh, no, that's a lie. It's not the end of the diary entry. I got confused.
Oh, good.
So it's slightly later in the evening. So nothing happened between them after her saying, I just want you. And so...
Awkward.
I know. But I assume it's because they're somewhat in person. Or, like, out in public. So, slightly later, she's using a key to open the hutch where Slatra stays. And I think her too. And he comes up behind her and just starts going for it. And I mean,
consent? Question
mark?
Well,
I think she sort of gave him that consent earlier when she said she just wants him.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would take that as consent. And, I mean, she participates.
Yeah, no, she doesn't, yeah. It's just funny.
Oh, yeah. But she enthusiastically participates.
Yeah.
So he pulls her veil off, and they are, like, about to, like, get down to it. And I'm like, are there no dragons present? Are they watching? Because that would be weird.
Probably.
But then some rando comes in asking for the king's help. Or not the king, for Kaan's help. Sorry, he's not the king yet. Mm-hmm. And, like, luckily they managed to hear the person coming for them to break apart from each other. But, like, Kaan is holding her veil in his hand. So, like, it's obvious.
It's suspicious.
Yeah, it's very suspicious. And, like, she thinks that she doesn't feel like Hadian anymore. But she feels like a loom. So she's becoming something strong despite her broken bits. Which
it's nice.
Is nice. And it's nice that Kaan is doing that for her. So then we go back to Raeve. And at the time, since I've obviously read ahead, I sort of get it a bit better. But at the time, I found it really hard to understand, like, whether she'd been staying in the house for a while or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it says she mentions the countless cycles since she came there, but, like, at the beginning, I didn't really understand why she stuck around instead of being like, so, like, yeah, I need my revenge. I'm going for it. And then just not going for it. I didn't really understand that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel weird because she really wanted revenge, like, real bad. But then all of a sudden it's like, actually, I'm all right.
I'm going to go to this weird place that used to be a thing.
Yeah. So she goes and gets a bath in the river, and she forages for her breakfast on her way back to the house and sits at the table. Like, she's just very domestic.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that she's just, like, learning, she felt a strong urge to write. So she went and bought a diary, and she's going to write in it, which is sort of, like, comical that she's reverting back to her old Elowen ways, even without realizing it.
Yeah, especially since, like, week 2, maybe? Whatever week she had to, like, go in front of the tribunal place. She wrote, like, her prisoner number down, and her handwriting is terrible because she had to learn how to write after. So, like, clearly Elowen had good handwriting. She had tutors and shit. So it is interesting that, like, she would want to write when it's something that she's actually really embarrassed about.
Yeah. So she's just, like, she's decided that while she's here, she needs to, like, explore these urges that she has that she never had before. And, like, she also feels comfortable doing it in this area because there's nobody around to judge her. Mm-hmm. And she just thinks, like, she's learning to exist without commands or shackles. Because in her memory, I don't think she's existed without shackles.
Yeah.
And, like, she's...
But even before...
Well, yes, but, like...
Oh, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. But in her actual memory, she's also never lived. Like, she's always had somebody telling her what to do. So now she's learning to live without that. And she thinks that Fallon would be proud. And I wrote in my notes at the time, who's Fallon? I have, however, since recognized, I do remember who Fallon is. She's, like, that girl that died, like, Raeve was talking about. I don't know if they were, like, in a dungeon or something. They were trapped together somewhere.
We don't really have a lot of information on who she is. Like, we don't yet, I guess.
No.
Maybe we get it. But...
Yeah, I don't know. So, she's just somebody that... Another person that Raeve lost. We'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And she's actually the one that taught her how to write. So it was right after she fell, like they were imprisoned together or captured or something together.
Right. Anyway, so she thinks that Fallon would be proud of her for learning to live. So she writes in her diary that she has tried to leave so many times to, like, find Rexaros and kill him. But every time she goes to leave, she just ends up, like, going to the market and buying something for the house and then coming home. So, like, new fabric for the curtains, or new leather to fix the chairs, or thread for the pallet. Like, she's fixing up the house. Mm-hmm. And she says that she feels alone but happy here. And she realizes that Kaan was in love with Elwyn. And I'm like, how did you not realize that sooner?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he has vocalized it. But she also says that she's not Elwyn anymore. And she knows that something pulled her from him ages ago. And she wants to know what. But she's sort of still reeling from the fact that, like, she had a life. And she had people that loved her. And she had a dragon that loved her. And, like, it's a lot for her to think about that she had all of this love and she still, like, left it. Because, like, he told her at this point, right? That she left him to marry someone else? Or she... He
tells her a little later.
So we're not there yet.
But she knows, she has to know she left. Veya said that she left.
Right. So, like, she knows that she left him, and she's just sort of worried about why she left him.
Yeah, I'm worried about
Me too. But yeah, so she knows that she's got to, like, come back to Earth, but she doesn't want to yet. Mm-hmm. So, we go back to Kaan's point of view. So, he is just back from dropping Grimm at the hatching ground. And both him and Pyrock think, like, it's wild that Grimm is doing this. But they also know that this is, like, they almost treat it like a pilgrimage if they're doing it for the right reasons. So it's, like, his personal journey. So he's got to, it's something he has to do. So,
yeah.
Kaan goes into his office, and it's really bare in there. There's, like, a desk and a couple chairs, but there's char marks all over the wall. And he thinks back to, like, his dad having this office and says that, like, when his dad had it, it was full of stuff and full of shelves. But Kaan, I guess, was resentful of his dad doing work and, like, said he put too much into his work and not enough time into his family. So he, like, tore it all down as soon as he could. And then he settles into his desk and Pyrock decides to shit disturb. And he tells him that she is still here and buying things at the market. And Kaan is just sort of, like, hopeful that maybe she's forming an attachment to this place or to me, or maybe she's remembering things. And I'm like, dude, this is unhealthy at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. You need to stop. So Pyrock reminds him, like, hey, it's the Great Flirt celebration coming up, and are you gonna go? And Kaan's like, I don't go, because the last time he went to a Great Flirt was the last night he spent with Elwyn. So, the following day, he saw her dragon flying her lifeless body into the sky. So, it makes me wonder, like, it says she left and bound herself to another man. So do you think they were having an affair? Like, do you think they were still, like, getting it on when she was married?
Oh. It seems like at this celebration, yes.
Because, like,
yeah.
Because if there's no way she left, got married, and then the next day died.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
So Pyrock, like, sort of suggests that he invite her and that this, like, could be good for them. And he also tells him that he heard that Raeve asked about him in the market. Sort of like, so what's the king up to these days? Exactly like that, by the way.
Yeah, I figured.
So Pyrock also... So Kaan goes to the window. And he's got just, like, a telescope, a spyglass, a looking glass, whatever, one of those things. He just has it by his window.
Of course he does. He's a creep.
And then he automatically looks in her direction where she would be and manages to find her immediately. And I'm like, that is not how anything works.
Maybe That's his fey magic. He can find
I don't
her.
like that. So he sees her through his little spyglass, and he sees her glance towards Raigan's hutch. And I'm like, I think this is a bit far-fetched, because he's like, oh, she's thinking of me. Because she looked at Raigan's perch. And so he's like, I've given her enough time on her own, and there is no one he would serve his heart to over and over and over again.
Which, at least he's acknowledging that this might not go well.
Yeah, but, like, I also feel like, I don't know. I feel like he's going for gold, and he should try for bronze first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, we get a diary entry. Again, they're coming fast and furious now.
Yeah.
And Elwyn is now 19.
Woo.
Woo woo. Happy birthday. Go for a drink or two.
Yeah. If you're Canadian.
Yeah. So, I guess she is watching Kaan oversee a tithe. So he's responsible for a tithe. And she knows that her dad did not respect King Ostern and his policies and the way he handled things and the way he ran his kingdom. But, like, watching Kaan, and he, like, gives an impoverished family a sack of gold. So she's like, my dad would approve of the way he runs things. He's different. Hey,
he's not like other kings.
So it's like, it's not like the girl thing. She's not like other girls. It's a king thing. For love of God, at least once, finally.
But it's also like, it's opposite of Tamlin.
Yeah. So they lock eyes from across the room, and, like, she feels seen in a way she never has before, and she feels she's gonna combust from the inside out, just from a look, which is wild.
But, like, when I was 19, I also was delusional and stupid.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember who I dated?
I do.
Yep. That's all I'm saying.
So, she just knows that what she wants is forbidden, aka her betrothed is brother, aka.
Yeah. My God, what is up with us in reading books about, like, people wanting to get with the people that they shouldn't get with because of family?
Yeah.
Like,
why? What other examples do you have?
The one where she was his dad's wife. Fate Inkton.
Right!
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I was like, what book did we read where it was his dad's wife? I totally forgot. We read the second one of those. Did we do it? Yeah. Have we done that one yet in the podcast? No.
The second one, no.
God, my brain. What's wrong with it?
This is just funny.
Oh my God.
That you forgot.
I did completely. It wasn't even that long ago.
You're like, because, like, that one I thought was a lot.
Yeah, no, just completely slipped my mind. It's fine, I guess.
Okay.
I don't even think I could tell you what book we did last month.
I was just wondering if I could. But it's one we flipped for. No, yeah, it's one we flipped for.
Is it?
It's a really long. It's what's her face's book.
Oh yes, what's her face?
Misha.
Nope.
Misha.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you.
The long title.
Yep. Songbird. Da
da da.
No.
I think that's what we did.
Songbird and the Heart of Stone. Oh my! Is that the one we did last? It feels like ages ago.
It does.
Like, I don't know.
This month has been long.
I don't know if that's true. I genuinely don't know if that's true.
September. Yeah, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone.
Wow. It does.
Before that, it was Phantasma.
That feels like a...
And before that, it was a Fate Inkton book.
Oh my God. It literally feels like a bajillion years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so... I guess... Eowyn knows what she wants. She doesn't care if it's forbidden. She's been here for almost 2 years, and she's done living the life she's been told to live instead of the one she wants. So, like, wow.
Fair enough.
Good for you, girl.
Go for it.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Get it, girl.
So we go back to Rave's point of view, and she is having a sexy dream about her and Kaan. And them, and them promising each other forever. And, like, he calls her Moonbeam because it's hot. And...
because it's hot.
Yeah.
Fair.
And she wakes up and she's obviously needy. Like, she needs to get some. And then she sees, like, dragons flying overhead through the sky hole in the house. And she wonders what's going on. And apparently it's, like, quite loud. And she goes outside to the river where she gets a bath, and she sees, like, thousands of dragons in the sky and wonders, like, oh my god, are we at war? She's freaking out. Mm-hmm. But there are also aurora threads in the sky, and the dragons are flying around them, and they're pairing off, and they're going to, like, have sexy times. And then she looks towards the city, and there are these silver flags everywhere, and she's like, I know what this is. It's the Great Flirt. So she sees this, like, basket hanging on a branch, the branch where she had the knot in the tree and found the carving. So she knows that, like, somebody knows that she's staying there. Mm-hmm. So the basket has a mask in it, and there's a gown and shoes, and then there's a note in there. And she opens the note, and Kaan's Malmer falls out of it, and the note just says, dance with me. So obviously Kaan is asking her on a date. Ish.
I think he's going a bit too hard with this Malmer
definitely
thing.
Going a bit too hard. So, like, that was one thing that you and I sort of talked about, is, like, him offering her the Malmer is, like, very pushy. Yeah. It feels pushy. Like, he literally has left her alone for a month, if he's actually been gone that long. And before he left, she was like, I'm not Eowyn. I'm not in love with you. You're not in love with me. Like, you gotta chill the beans. Eowyn's not coming back. So, like, that's how it left. And now he's like, I've given her enough space. I'm going to give her all of my love.
She didn't want it before. She'll want it now.
Yeah, it's just...
That's what you do, right?
It's like, what is that? Love bombing someone?
Oh, yeah.
I don't actually 100% know what that is, so I don't think I use it right, but...
Yeah. It's like giving them a whole bunch of gifts and, like, praise and...
Right.
I guess it could be.
Well...
He did give her a bunch of gifts just then.
Yeah. Well, and then, so that's the thing. So then she says that, like, she knows that there's a weight to the question, dance with me. Even though he's just asking her for a dance. But the fact that he sent in the Malmer with it is indicative that, like, he wants something to happen between them. He wants their relationship to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. So she is wondering, like, what she should do. And then she decides, like, she's going to pretend for the evening. And maybe this is a fitting goodbye for them. Because she's going to erase everything.
Great.
So we go back, another diary entry. So Eowyn gets a lark, and there's a key inside of it. So she has to, like, press, like, return to sender or whatever, and it leads her to the house. And Kaan is there, and he tells her that this is for you, this is yours, no matter, like, I don't have to come with it. It's just yours. And then she jumps him.
But I'm also like, she's got to go marry your brother and go back to her kingdom. What do you mean it's hers? She's not staying here.
I don't really understand what he thought was going to happen with that. Like, did he think he was going to petition his dad to, like, let them marry instead? Or, like,
maybe.
I would love for her to have been, like, to the council and be like, I refuse to marry anybody except for him. So, like...
Yeah, because I feel like they would have been fine with that,
you
wouldn't
would
they?
think. Like, it's still one of the brothers.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't have enough beads, so he's not strong enough to be able to lead or some bullshit.
Not according to his dad, you're right. But, like, what did his dad think was going to happen? Yeah.
When he died? Yeah. Guess he didn't think he was going to die.
Anyway, so go back to Rave's point of view, and she meets Pyrick at the wall, close to the entrance to the city, and they start talking. And she actually asks him, like, did you know me before? And he said, yes. And then he asks, like, do you want to know anything about anything? And she says, no. And, like, I would not be able to do that. If anybody offered me anything sort of that I wasn't sure about, I'd be like, yes, tell me everything about me.
Yeah, well, I'd kind of want to be like, how am I supposed to act at these functions? I don't want to be a complete ass because I've never been to something like this. I'd be like, who have I met before so I'm not a complete dick to them? Like,
So, she's wearing the dress that Kaan gifted her, but she did alter it a little bit to get rid of some of the fabric. And they go into the square, and it's a festival, and there's, like, a path that separates into 3, and each one has, like, a dome over it, and it represents each hatching ground, so, like, the fade, the shade, and the burn, and she's already thinking, I know exactly what path he is going to take, and she wants him to wait a little bit and be a little impatient, so she goes down the shade path, which is her kingdom's path.
But she doesn't know
She
that,
does
right?
not. She just picks it, which is super convenient. Like, it's super... Of course it is that she picked her own kingdom.
Yeah.
So on her way, like, I guess to go under the dome, there's this curtain of air. And she feels like she has to, like, pass a barrier in order to go through it. And for some reason, she's got, like, these butterflies in her stomach, and she doesn't want to move. But she just sucks it up and says, well, fuck this, I'm going anyway. So, turns out that they transformed, after she got, like, past the barrier, they transformed each section to be an actual representation of that area. So the shade, there's snow and there's ice everywhere, and there's a platform for nesting moon plumes if they show up. And I'm just like, how would they even get to the burn with all the sun? But
yeah, I think they could if they had somebody who speaks to Claude, or maybe Rain too. But like, Claude could blow in a cloud for a shadow.
That's true. So they transformed the area. Oh, I already said that. So I guess the biggest thing, though, is that it's not cold out. Like, so it looks like snow and ice, but there's no cold, frosty temperature. So she feels this, like, invisible weight, but, like, doesn't really understand it. Because, again, she has no idea that she is, like, the princess of the shade.
Yeah.
So she wants to ask Pyrick if he knows how she got her moon plume, because she just wants to know. She's just curious, like, if she hatched it or if she charmed an adult. But, like, she also doesn't want to ask because she doesn't want to look interested, because then if she looks interested, they'll get her to stay. I say they as if we have multiple people.
Well, we'll get her to stay.
So she's weaving through the crowd, and she feels pulled to specific somewhere, and turns out it is high stakes gambling, aka Scrippy. So she just goes over to Pyrock and, like, searches his pockets and finds a bag of money and brings it over to the table and drops down and says, like, deal me in. However, when they first arrive, one of the guys is, like, taunting and teasing Pyrick, insinuating that Pyrick had to pay for sexual favors, or pay a debt in sexual favors, sorry. And whatever it is, whatever he says, it just makes Pyrick uncomfortable. So Raeve is not happy. So Raeve, like, gives this bag of gold, and they're like, oh, that's enough to buy in, but you still need money for chips. And she says, okay. And they say, okay, well, you got to bet on something else. Or you got to use the other money to bet. But she doesn't have any more money. She used it all in the buy-in. So she's like, what if I just offer a favor to each player? And that is enough. So they, like, literally cash in her idea for,
Giving them a favor.
Thank you. So Pyrick obviously doesn't want her to, but she tells him to wait and just let her do this. So the guys around the table are, like, all these rich. This is like a high stakes, high rollers game. So all these people are rich. So they keep, like, calling her ignorant or, like, a pretty thing. She's too confident, has no sense. So, like, just being very misogynistic assholes.
Yeah, 100%.
So, obviously, she wins the game and takes them for everything they have. And then they leave in various states of anger and huffiness. And a couple do stick around, but then Kaan comes in. So as soon as he comes in, they're like, we're out. And they leave. So she thinks that he looks real hot in his suit. I don't actually know if he's wearing a suit. I just added that little detail.
Yeah, it's like, what else would he be wearing,
Yeah.
I guess. But then you think of, like, I'm like, all the other Fae books. I can't imagine all the boys wearing suits.
Yeah. So, again, he looks real hot, and he tells her that, like, this isn't what he meant when he asked her to dance. Valid point.
So funny.
And then she just asks him out of the blue, like, what happened with the two of them. And she was like, I meant something to you, right? And he's like, yeah.
No duh.
And, like, she even has, like, this memory of them now, like, having sex. And they're all covered in clay because he taught her, like, how to make bowls and cups and plates and stuff. So he tells her that she chose to bind herself to another man. And it's Tirith.
Yeah.
But then he says, do you want to know who? And she says, no. So, like, she knows in her head that he's too good for her to have given him up, like, willingly, for them to have, like, had a falling out. So she's like, well, now I really don't want to know, anything about Elwyn's past, because that means she has, the fact that she gave him up at all means she's got some pretty deep secrets.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, they're gonna hurt. So therefore she doesn't want to remember them.
Yeah. This is like the smartest she's ever been.
But also the dumbest.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean her realizing that, like, Elwyn had secrets. But, like, everyone should have realized that. Like, and I guess Veya kind of did, because she's like, I'm going to get the diary because I need to know what the fuck is going on.
So she says that even after he, even after he saved her life. What?
Oh. After she did that. Yeah.
He just tells her that, like, it was hard. Like, I guess she's trying to thank him for saving her life. And he just says, yeah, well, any opportunity to serve the severed head of a man to you is, like, I'll take. So yeah, I wrote in my brackets that I don't really get this. Like, I don't really understand that part.
Yeah. Because when I originally read it, I thought it was his father, but I'm like, he didn't serve his father's head unless he, like, kept it for 100 years.
Don't love that.
But me neither. Like, it must be about Hawk, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So she then asks how he can look at her like he still wants her. And he just says, like, you could split him open down the middle and he would still love her. Which is adorable. But then he's like, it's a waste of your big... Or that's what she said. You're a waste. It's a waste of a big, beautiful heart. Insinuating that she does care about him. She does, like, I don't know about love yet, but, like, she is fond of him. But she just wants to keep him safe because he's got such a cute little baby heart. And she just still thinks that, like, she still deserves to be alone. So she realizes that maybe Kaan did not want to pretend after all. And she wants, so part of her sort of like wants to pretend, but she knows that she sort of can't. Because again, she thinks she dead meat. So she tells him that they have two choices. And I hate these two choices.
Yeah.
So the first choice is she gets up with her gold that she won during that Scrippy game. And, oh my god. Oh. So she says her first choice is for her to stand up with her gold, hire a molten Ba to take her where she wants to for the foreseeable future. Option number 1. Option number 2 is they play Scrippy. If he wins, he could ask her 3 questions and she'll be honest.
And he offers that one up. He's like, this is what I want if I win.
And she's like, okay, well then if I win, we get to pretend to be the 2 people that were in love. So essentially she just wants to have sex with them tonight. And then she says, in the morning, I will use a mind weft to scrub you from my brain. And I wonder, like, is that the plan if, like, I know he gets to ask 3 questions, but, like, is her plan to still do it after he asked the 3 questions? Yeah.
But also, is her plan to do it if she goes and leaves with her money right now anyway?
Yeah.
Like, she's just... I think that's her end goal before she leaves.
Exactly.
No matter what.
So, like, why add it to the bet if it's something that you are planning on doing?
Yeah.
So she feels like if she says, yeah, I don't know, she just feels like she's toying with him and she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So they start to play, and he sort of realizes through the course of them playing and revealing some information that she lost someone, and that makes her angry. So, like, she's understanding now finally, like, oh my god.
Do you mean he's understanding?
Yeah, sorry. So, like, he understands that she lost somebody, and that's why she is being the way she is.
About the revenge.
Yes, about the revenge and everything like that. But she doesn't want this. This is not Dr. Phil. Like, she does not want the interactions. So she's like, I'm not taking this. I'm going to get up and go. However, the dealer playing their Scrippy game is an Octomar. And he wrote, like, the Octomar sort of wrote their deals into their palms. So, because she tried to leave, it grabbed her with a tentacle and won't let her go. Mm-hmm. So that an Octomar is just like a tentacle monster.
Yeah.
And he just reminds her, like, hey, didn't you know you were supposed to stay? So she knows that they're required to stay until the game is over. The Octomar actually literally, like, grabs her by the throat and hauls her back over and makes her sit in the chair. And she's just worried because she knows exactly what question Kaan is going to ask if he wins. His 3 big questions. And I'm like, what 3 big questions? I would love to know.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. It's going to be about her remembering, but, like, she really doesn't seem to remember that much.
Nope.
Oh, I guess he'll ask about the fire.
Yeah, and I guess he could ask, like, do you love me?
Probably would be his question. What a nerd.
But, like, it just seems like a thing that needs to be more done face to face. Do you love me? Okay, so that is where we end off this week. Next week should be exciting.
Yeah, we're going to finish it, which is wild.
And, I mean, according to me, I feel like we've been doing this for a bajillion years. Because last month felt like ages ago.
Yeah.
So, we're going to wrap it up for this week. If you want to get in touch with us and share your thoughts on anything you heard in our episode today or any of the other ones, feel free to reach out to us by email at coffeeandcoread@gmail.com or TikTok at coffee.coread or Facebook and Instagram at coffeeandcoread.
So next week, we're going to be doing chapters 74 to the epilogue. So make sure to follow along. And if you're enjoying our chats, don't forget to follow, rate, and review wherever you get our content. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you on the next page.